guys, it's Miss French here, ready to teach you a math lesson. So today's learning intention is I can solve word problems involving time, and our success criteria is I can tell and write time to the nearest minute. I want you to go ahead and get yourself a sheet of paper and a pencil so you can solve along with me. Throughout the video, there are going to be times where you pause the video to solve problems. So go ahead and pause right now, go grab a pencil and a paper, and then come back and press play. Okay, there are two different kinds of clocks, an analog and a digital. We're going to be focusing on the analog clock today. An analog clock has two hands. The long hand is the minute hand, and the short hand is the hour hand. Hour, shorter word, shorter hand. Minute, longer word, longer hand. Help that to remember. You can pause and write it down, or you can just remember it as you're practicing telling time this week. We're going to start by focusing on time to the hour. An hour is 60 minutes. In an hour, you could watch 2 cartoons, you could cook and serve a meal, you could eat lunch and go to recess. There are 24 hours in a day. We're going to practice first by starting how to figure out which hour it is. The big numbers on a clock tell us the hour. Each hour has a room on the clock. To tell what the hour is, you're going to look for the shorthand, the hour hand, and figure out which room is the shorthand in. When I look, I see these rooms are different colors. So I'm going to go to the 2, and I see that it is after the 2, but before the 3. So I know that it is in the 2 o'clock room because it can't be 3 yet if it's not touching the 3 yet. So that's still in the 2 o'clock room. Okay, let's try another one. What is the hour? This is a good time to pause and write it down. Great work. The hour is 4. I see that it is after the 4, but before the 5. So really good work. Okay, write down the hour. Very good job. It is 10 o'clock. It's after the 10, not yet to the 11, so it's still in the 10 o'clock house. Okay, write down your hour. Good job. 11 o'clock. It's after the 11, before the 12. It's in that 11 o'clock house. Okay, try another one. 2 o'clock. Good job. This one was kind of tricky because it got really close to that 3, but it wasn't 3 o'clock yet, so it's still in that 2 o'clock house. Now let's focus on telling time to the hour with minute and hour hand. Anytime that the minute hand is on the 12, you're going to write that as 00. So let's go ahead and write the hour. We're going to figure out, right there on the 11. So we know that the hour is 11. And then we see that it's on the 12. We know that we write 00 when the minute hand is on the 12. So that means that it's 11 o'clock on this clock. Pause and try this one on your own. Remember, hour hand's short one, minute hand's long. Good job. We see that the shorthand, the hour hand, is on the 2. And then I know that the 12 o'clock means 0, 2 o'clock. Good work. Okay, let's try another one. Keep on going. Y'all are doing amazing. Okay, now we're going to practice to the half hour. Here are some clues for telling time to the half hour. The hour hand will be halfway in between 2 numbers. That's because there's 60 minutes in an hour, and a half hour has 30 minutes. So that hour hand is halfway there to the next one. So knowing our houses, we see that it's after the 9, before the 10. So it's in the 9 o'clock house. So I'll write down my hour. And then the minute hand for a half hour is always pointing to the 6. So anytime I see the minute hand pointing to the 6, I'm going to know to write 30. Because as we learned last year, we skip count by 5s for the minutes. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So anytime it's there, it's half hour or 30 minutes. So that clock reads 9:30. Okay, pause, write down your answer. Great work. So when we look at this, we can drag out our minute hand, or hour hand, the short hand, the hour hand. And I'm going to see that it is 4 o'clock. It's in the hour house of 4. And then I see the minute hand on the 6, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I kind of like to just memorize that 6 means 30, and it helps me get a little bit faster and more fluent with my telling time. Okay, try one more time to the half hour. Okay, good job. We know that the hour is in the 7 o'clock house. It's not yet to the 8, so it can't be 8. 6 means 30. If you forget that, remember you can always skip count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So the clock says 7:30. I really like what you're doing. Keep up the great work. If you need to take a break now, jump up and do 5 jumping jacks. And while you do them, skip count by 5. 5, 10. Keep it going. Good job. Okay, let's get back to work. I hope you had a good brain break. And now we're going to move from half hour to telling time to the 5 minutes. This is still a review of second grade, but we want to make sure that we are remembering how to do it because it's been a long time. So I'm going to start with my hour hand. I'm going to drag it out. I see that it's not yet to the 10. So I need to write 9. It's still in the 9 o'clock house. And then I'm going to start skip counting by 5s at the 1. Because look, each of these little dots are 1. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we can skip count by 5s. Those big numbers, when we're doing the minutes, can be skip counts by 5. So let's skip count to the minute hand. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. It is 9:35. Are you ready to try 1 to 5 minutes on your own? I know you can do it. I know you can do it. There we go. Okay, sorry. Okay, go ahead, pause, write your answer. Great work. Let's look at this. We see that the hour hand is right there on the 5, so it's 5 o'clock. It's not yet to the 6. It's not before the 5, so that's in that 5 o'clock house. And then I'm going to skip count by 5s for my minute hand. 5, 10, 15. 5:15. If you got that correct, all on your own, give yourself a pat on the back. Great work. Let's try another one. Okay, the next one, pause, solve. Okay, really great work, guys. Let's go ahead and draw out our minute hand, or hour hand, the short hour hand. It's after the 6, so I'm going to write 6 o'clock. And then we're going to skip count by 5s to the minute hand because it's right there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And those of you that are masters of multiplication also realize that 9 times 5 equals 45. So you can multiply or use your skip counting when the minute hand's on one of the big numbers. Okay, now we're going to get down to try a couple telling times to the minute. So first you count by 5s, then you count by 1s. So just like before, when you're counting the minutes, you're going to count by 5s, but then you're going to go into those little dots and you're going to count those by 1. So let's practice a few and just keep that in your head. Count by 5s, then by 1s. Count by 5s, then by 1s. That'll help you every time. Okay, each line or dot between the 5s stands for 1 minute. So you're going to count from the nearest 5-minute mark. So I'm going to go ahead, handle my hour. I always start there. I'm going to draw it out. I see that it's in the 3 o'clock hour house. And then I'm going to count by 5s, then by 1s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I can't go to the next one. So now I'll start counting by 1s. 35, 36, 37, 38. This clock tells us that it is 338. Okay, you're going to try one on your own now. Okay, actually, I forgot about this one. That one has the answer. Okay, now you're going to try one on your own. I forgot to delete the answer. Okay, go ahead and write down your hour and then count by fives, then by ones. Okay, great job. Let's look. Drew out my hour hand. It's before the 8, not yet to the 9, in the 8 o'clock house. I remembered that 6 was 30, so I didn't even have to count by fives. I just started right here and said 30, 31, 32, 8, 32. If you got that correct, give yourself a huge pat on the back. Great work. Okay, I want you to try this last one on your own, and then you're going to be doing some other practice on a Google form. Okay, go ahead and write your hour and your minutes. Okay, great job. I drew out and I said, ooh, still in that 12 o'clock house because it's not yet to the 1. But then I saw the minute hand was right after the 1. So I knew that I had to skip counting by fives to the 1. And then I count by ones on the dots. 5, 6, 7. Hold on, I kind of messed that up. Let me do that neatly. Let me always do my best work. Okay, so 12:05, 6, 7. So this clock tells me that it's 12:07. And you never hear anybody say, hey, meet me at 12:07. So remember, when it's not yet to the 10, you're going to say 07, and you're going to write it the same way. Okay, you got it, dudes. You have got this. As you go on to your next activity, remember, count by fives, then by ones. You can redo your Google form as many times. You can rewatch this video until you're successful. So do your best work your hardest, and let your teacher know if you need extra help with this skill. We love you. We believe in you. You've got this.